It's 6:30 in the morning, February 2nd, 2026. You're 70 years old. You've been living in America for 15 years on a green card. You grab your car keys to drive to your doctor's appointment. The same route you've taken 100 times, but today your phone buzzes. It's a message in your family WhatsApp group. Your cousin has forwarded something that makes your heart drop. Urgent alert, all seniors 65 and over. Banned from driving starting February 1st, 2026. New federal law, check your license. Now you look at your license. You look at the date February 2nd. Does this mean you're driving illegally right now? If you get pulled over, will the police arrest you? Will immigration get involved? Will this affect your green card? Your mind is racing, your hands are shaking. You don't know what to do. Stop, breathe. Because right now, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to save you from making a catastrophic mistake. Based on a lie that's spreading through our community like poison, there's a massive rumor going viral right now, and it's causing unnecessary panic among immigrant seniors all across America. But here's what nobody is telling you. The rumor is based on news from a completely different country, mixed with real American deadlines twisted by fear and weaponized by people who profit from clicks and panic. But here's what's also true. While the February ban is fake, there are real changes happening right now that you absolutely must understand. Changes to Real ID requirements, changes to State DMV rules for seniors, changes to car technology. And if you don't know exactly what's real and what's fake, you could lose your license, miss your flight to see your family, or worse, end up in a situation with law enforcement that triggers immigration problems. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. My inbox is flooded uncles, aunties, green card holders, visa holders, even citizens all asking me the same question. Saqibimmigrationanalyst, is the government really taking away our right to drive? And I need to tell you something very clearly. This panic, this fear, is exactly what happens when our community doesn't have access to verified information in simple language. So today, I'm going to break down every single piece of this puzzle, where the rumor came from, what's actually changing in February 2026, which states have new rules, what Real ID actually means, and most importantly, exactly what you need to do right now to protect yourself and your family. If you are over 65, if your parents are over 65, if you know any senior immigrant drivers, do not skip a single second of this video. The rules of the road are changing, and what you don't know can absolutely hurt you. Let me start by killing the rumor that's causing all this panic. There is no federal law in the United States that bans seniors from driving. In February 2026, none, zero, it does not exist. The Department of Transportation in Washington, D.C. does not have the power to cancel your driver's license. That power belongs to your state DMV. California makes rules for California. Texas makes rules for Texas. New York makes rules for New York. The federal government cannot walk into your house and take your license away because you turned 65. So where did this insane rumor come from? Here's the truth that most YouTube channels won't tell you, because fear gets more views than facts. This rumor is a classic case of wrong country, wrong news, the viral messages spreading through WhatsApp. Facebook and TikTok are actually talking about the United Kingdom. In the UK, there are discussions happening right now about changing driving license rules for people over 70. The British government is considering new medical assessments and shorter renewal periods. That's UK news, British news, not American news. But here's what happened. Someone took that UK headline, removed the word United Kingdom, added USA, changed 70 to 65, picked February 2026 as a random scary date and started spreading it. The internet did what the internet does. It spread like wildfire, no fact-checking, no verification, just pure panic. And now thousands of immigrant seniors are terrified for no reason. But listen carefully, just because the February ban is fake doesn't mean you can relax completely. Because while there's no federal ban, many states are changing their rules for senior drivers in 2026. And if you don't know your specific state's requirements, you could walk into the DMV expecting a simple renewal and walk out without a license. So let me break down exactly what's happening in the states where most of you are watching from. Let's start with Illinois. And I actually have surprisingly good news for you. Illinois used to have one of the strictest senior driving laws in the entire country. If you were 79 years old, you had to take a mandatory road test. Every single time you renewed your license, a full behind-the-wheel driving test like you were 16 again. It was humiliating, it was stressful. Many perfectly healthy seniors failed not because they couldn't drive, But because they were nervous, but here's the good news. Illinois passed a new law called House Bill 1226. This law raises the age for mandatory road tests from 79 all the way up to 87. This is huge. If you're 80, 82, or 85 in Illinois, you no longer have to panic about taking a driving test, unless you have specific medical issues flagged by a doctor. This change is taking full effect by July 2026. So for my Illinois viewers, congratulations. The rules actually got better for you, not worse for. Now let's talk about California, where the largest number of my viewers live. California has always been strict with senior drivers. If you're 70 or older, you cannot renew your license by mail like a younger person can. You must go to the DMV in person. This is not new. This rule has existed for years. But here's what is changing in 2026. The California DMV is getting extremely strict about vision tests. If you're 70 or older and you go to renew your license, you must pass the vision screening at the DMV. No exceptions. Here's where people are getting caught. They show up to the DMV. They haven't had their eyes checked in 3 years. They stand in front of that vision machine. They squint, they struggle, they fail, and the DMV officer says, "I'm sorry, we cannot renew your license today. You need to get a note from an eye doctor first." Now you're in panic mode, you don't have a license. You can't drive to the eye doctor without a license. You have to ask your kids for help. It becomes a whole stressful situation. Here's my advice. Do not let a blurry vision chart at the DMV be the reason you lose your independence. Before your license expires, before you even make your DMV appointment, go to your own eye doctor. Get your eyes checked, get new glasses if you need them, get a prescription update, bring documentation from your eye doctor to the DMV showing that your vision meets the requirements. This simple step can save you so much stress. California also introduced something called e-learning courses. For seniors, if you have a clean driving record, you often don't need to take the written knowledge test anymore. Instead, you can take a no-fail educational course online, at home before your appointment. It's easy, it's in multiple languages. It covers safe driving practices. Take advantage of this, it makes your DMV visit much smoother. Now Texas does not have age-based restrictions like California or Illinois. You can renew online even if you're 90 years old, as long as you haven't done it too many times in a row. But Texas is very strict about something else. Medical reporting. If your doctor believes you have a condition that makes you unsafe to drive, like severe dementia or uncontrolled seizures, they are required by law to report you to the Texas DMV. The DMV can then suspend your license and require you to take medical and driving evaluations. Before getting it back, this catches people off guard. They go to their regular checkup. They mention they've been a little forgetful lately. The doctor documents it. Next thing they know, they get a letter from the DMV saying their license is under review. My advice, be honest with your doctor, but also make sure you understand what conditions trigger mandatory reporting. In your state, New York requires drivers over 70 to pass a vision test every 8 years. Instead of every 16 years, that's more frequent testing. They also have something called a medical review board. If there's any concern about your ability to drive safely, the DMV can require you to submit medical documentation from your doctor before renewing for immigrant seniors who may not have regular doctors or who are nervous about medical exams. Because of cost or language barriers, this can create real obstacles. Florida is one of the largest retirement states in America. Millions of seniors. Florida requires all drivers over 80 to pass a vision test at every renewal. If you're 79, you can renew by mail. The day you turn 80, you must go in person. Florida also has a program where doctors can submit confidential medical reports if they believe a patient is unsafe to drive. The DMV reviews these reports and can require additional testing. So here's what you need to understand. Every state is different. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. The key is to know your state's specific rules before your license expires. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't assume the rules are the same as they were 10 years ago. When you last renewed, check your state DMV website, call them, ask questions. Be prepared, but now I need to talk about the real threat. The real deadline that actually can stop you from traveling. And it's not a fake February ban. It's called Real ID, and the deadline was May 7th, 2025. That date has already passed. And if you missed it, you're about to face serious problems. Let me explain what Real ID is and why it matters so much. After September 11th, 2001, the federal government decided that state driver's licenses were too easy to fake. There were too many security vulnerabilities. So Congress passed the Real ID Act. This law sets minimum security standards that all state-issued driver's licenses must meet. If you want to use them for federal purposes, what are federal purposes? Boarding a domestic flight within the United States, entering federal buildings, accessing certain military bases, going to nuclear facilities, starting May 7, 2025. If your driver's license does not have a gold star or a black star in the top right corner, you cannot use it to board an airplane, even for a flight from New York to Florida, even from California to Texas. Domestic flights, American flights. You will be turned away at the airport. Now you might be thinking, but Saqib, I have a passport. I can just use my passport to fly. Yes, that's true. A valid U.S. passport or a valid passport from your home country can be used instead of Real ID, but here's the problem. Many seniors don't have passports. Many people let their passports expire because they're not planning international travel. They think I'm just flying within America to visit my kids. I don't need a passport, and then they show up at the airport with their old driver's license and get rejected for immigrants, green card holders and visa holders. Real ID is even more critical. Why? Because to get a Real ID, you have to prove your legal status in the United States. You cannot just show up at the DMV with your old license and ask for an upgrade. You need to bring specific documents. Your unexpired green card, your valid visa, and I-94. If you're on a visa, your original Social Security card, not a photocopy. 2 proofs of address like utility bills or bank statements. Your birth certificate or passport. This is where people panic. They go to the DMV thinking it's going to be a quick upgrade. The DMV worker asks for documents. They don't have everything. They have to leave. They have to come back. It becomes a multi-trip headache. And if your immigration documents have any issues, any discrepancies, any outdated information, the DMV might not issue you a Real ID until you fix those issues first. Here's a real scenario that happened to someone in my community. An elderly uncle, green card holder for 20 years. Went to get his Real ID. His green card was valid, but his Social Security card had his old name from 30 years ago. Before he legally changed it, the DMV said these names don't match. We can't issue Real ID until you fix this. He had to go to the Social Security office, wait weeks for a corrected card, then come back to the DMV. Meanwhile, his old license expired. He couldn't drive legally. He couldn't fly. Total nightmare. So here's my urgent advice. If you have not upgraded to Real ID yet, do it now, today, this week. Don't wait. Check your license. Is there a star in the corner? If not, make an appointment at the DMV immediately. Gather all your documents first. Green card, Social Security card, proof of address, birth certificate. Have everything ready. Don't show up unprepared. And if your license is expiring in 2026, don't wait until 2026 to renew it. Go now in 2025 and upgrade to Real ID at the same time. Why? Because DMV offices are getting more crowded. Appointments are filling up. If you wait until the last minute, you might not get an appointment before your license expires. And driving with an expired license is illegal. It can lead to tickets, arrests, and for immigrants, potential encounters with law enforcement that trigger immigration issues. Now let me talk about something that's getting almost no attention, but is actually changing the game for senior drivers in 2026. New car technology. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, is pushing for automatic emergency braking to become standard in most new vehicles by model year 2026. This means if you buy a new car in 2026, it's probably going to have all these advanced driver assistance features, automatic braking lane departure warnings, blind spot monitoring cameras everywhere, screens beeping at you constantly. For seniors, this is a double-edged sword. On one hand, this technology is incredible. It saves lives if your reaction time is slowing down, which happens naturally as we age. The car can brake for you. If someone cuts in front of you, it can warn you if you're drifting out of your lane. It's a safety net, but on the other hand, this technology can be overwhelming and confusing. I've talked to seniors who are terrified of these new cars. They don't understand why the car is beeping. They don't know how to turn off certain features. The steering wheel pulls itself and they panic. Thinking something is wrong, here's what happens. A senior buys a brand new car with all this technology. They drive off the lot, they're on the highway. The lane assist kicks in and tugs the steering wheel. They freak out, they jerk the wheel the other way. They almost cause an accident. Or the automatic braking engages because it detects something, but the driver wasn't expecting it. The car stops suddenly. The car behind them almost rear-ends them. My advice if you're planning to buy a new car in 2026, please take the time to learn the technology before you drive it regularly. Ask the dealership for a full tutorial. Sit in the car for 30 minutes and have them explain every feature. Take it for a long test drive. Read the manual, watch YouTube videos about that specific car model. Don't just drive off the lot and hope for the best. The rules of the road haven't changed, but the rules of the car have now. Let me address the immigration angle that nobody else is talking about. Why does any of this matter specifically for immigrants? Because your driver's license is not just permission to drive for immigrants. It's your primary form of identification. You use it for everything. Opening bank accounts, proving your address, getting hired for jobs, renting apartments, going through TSA at airports, and critically, it's a required document. For almost every USCIS application and interview, when you apply for citizenship, you need to show 2 forms of ID at your interview. Most people show their green card and their driver's license. If your license is expired, you have a problem when you renew your green card. You need valid ID when you apply for a visa extension. You need valid ID. Your driver's license is tied to your entire immigration life. Here's the trap: your license expires. You think I don't really drive that much anymore? I'll renew it eventually. Months go by, then you get a notice for your citizenship interview. You realize your license expired 6 months ago. You panic, you try to get a DMV appointment. No availability for weeks, your interview date is coming up. You show up with an expired license. The USCIS officer raises an eyebrow. They ask why it's expired. You try to explain it creates doubt, it creates delays. It complicates what should have been a straightforward process. Or worse, you're driving with an expired license. Because you haven't gotten around to renewing it, you get pulled over for a broken taillight. The officer runs your information, sees you're an immigrant, sees your license has expired. Now you're dealing with a traffic citation. But the officer also asks about your immigration status. You get nervous, you say the wrong thing. The situation escalates. What should have been a simple traffic stop turns into an immigration problem. This is why I'm telling you, do not let your license expire. Do not drive illegally. Do not put yourself in a position where a simple traffic stop can spiral into something that affects your green card or visa. Keep your documents current always. No exceptions. So what do you actually need to do right now? Let me give you a clear action plan. Step 1. Pull out your driver's license right this second. Look at the expiration date. If it expires within the next 6 months, stop everything and make a DMV appointment today. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, handle it now. Step 2. Check if your license has a real ID star. If it doesn't, that's your top priority. Gather all your immigration documents, your social security card, your proof of address, and schedule an appointment to upgrade. Do not wait until you need to fly somewhere. Do it now while there's no pressure. Step 3, if you're over 65, visit your eye doctor before your DMV appointment. Get your vision checked. Get new glasses if needed. Bring documentation from your eye doctor showing your vision is good. This prevents you from failing the DMV vision test and having your renewal delayed. Step 4. Check your specific state's DMV website for senior driver requirements. Don't assume, don't guess. Know exactly what your state requires for your age group. Is there a test? Is there a course? Is there paperwork? Know before you go. Step 5. Consider taking a mature driver safety course. Organizations like AARP and AIA offer these courses, specifically for senior drivers. They refresh your knowledge of traffic laws. They teach you about new car technology, and in many states, completing this course gives you a discount on your car insurance. It's a win-win. You become a safer driver and you save money. Step 6. Talk to your family. Make sure everyone in your household knows the real facts. Show them this video. Stop the panic. Stop the